Myself, Dr. Bhavnagar, Assistant Professor, Kota Government Medical College. Today's topic is Introduction of Hematology. Coming to definition of hematopoiesis. So what is hematopoiesis? Hemat means blood and poiesis means generation or production. So hematopoiesis is the physiological process of formation of all blood cells in bone marrow called as hematopoiesis. Stages of hematopoiesis. First stage is mesoplastic stage, second is hepatic stage, and third one is myeloid stage. In mesoplastic stage, blood is formed only in yolk sac, begins at the third week of gestation. In hepatic stage, it begins at 4 to 8 weeks of gestation, occurs in liver, thymus, and spleen. In third one is myeloid stage, it begins at 12 week of gestation and occurs only in the cancellous areas of bones. Coming to schematic diagram of hematopoiesis, the first cell is hematopoietic stem cells, which is converted into common lymphoid progenitor cells and common myeloid progenitor cells through the process of lymphopoiesis and myelopoiesis, and through the various growth factors IL-3, GM-CSF, IL-6. These cells are common myeloid progenitor cells are converted into colony forming unit granulocyte macrophage and colony forming unit basophil megakaryocytes and erythrocytes, and through the process of other mediator committed precursor cells metion neutrophil monocyte eosinophil basophil platelet and erythrocytes are formed and released in the blood, and from common lymphoid progenitor cells B lymphocyte T lymphocytes and NK cells are formed. Hematopoietic stem cells have two essential properties required for maintenance of hematopoiesis. The first property is pluripotency. Pluripotency means ability of single stem cell to generate all type of mature hematopoietic cells. And second is the capacity of self-renewal. So hematopoiesis is regulated by various hematopoietic growth factors through effect on committed progenitor cells. So growth factors are granulocyte macrophage colony stimulating factor, GCSF, thrombopoietin, erythropoietin, and other interleukins like interleukins 3, 5, and 6. Coming to morphology of bone marrow supports orderly proliferation, differentiation, and release of blood cells in the peripheral blood. So bone marrow is filled with a network of thin-walled sinusoids which are lined by a single layer of endothelial cells, and in these sinusoids, a cluster of hematopoietic cells and fat cells are lying. In normal bone marrow, these all three lineages of megakaryocyte, RBC, red cell precursor, and WBC precursor are organized in proper way, and normal megakaryocytes lie next to the sinusoids and extend their cytoplasmic process into bloodstream to produce mature platelets. And red cell precursor are often surround macrophages because of need of iron for hemoglobin synthesis. So in the normal bone marrow, ratio of fat cell to hematopoietic element is should be 1:1 in normal adults, means and when there is an aplastic anemia and hypoplastic state, so fat cells are increased in number, and normal hematopoietic elements are reduced in number. So marrow is called as hypoplastic bone marrow. And conditions in hematopoietic disorders or compensatory hyperplasia and hemolytic anemia, and in leukemia condition, so fat cells are almost disappear in the marrow, and number of abnormal cells are increased. So marrow is called as hyperplastic. In postnatal hematopoiesis, all RBC, all erythrocyte, granulocyte, and platelets are produced only in bone marrow, and B lymphocyte produced in the marrow, and secondary lymphoid organs are lymph node. T lymphocytes are produced in thymus and also in lymph nodes. Coming to erythropoiesis, from hematopoietic stem cells, common myeloid progenitor cells are formed. From common myeloid progenitor cells, CFU-MEGE means colony forming units. Megakaryocytes erythrocyte is formed from this colony forming unit. CFU erythrocyte is formed and through the various precursor like pronomoblast, basophilic nomoblast, polychromatophilic nomoblast, orthochromatic nomoblast, reticulocyte and erythrocytes are formed. Coming to stages of erythropoiesis, first stage is hematopoietic stem cell, then common myeloid progenitor cells, BFU and colony forming units. So there is a tabulated form of various morphology of various nomoblasts. First is pronomoblast, basophilic nomoblast, polychromatophilic nomoblast, orthochromatic nomoblast, reticulocytes and RBC. So in this cell is reduced from 20 micrometer to 7 to 8 micrometer in normal RBC. Nucleus in pronomoblast is coarsely clumped and having one or more nuclei. In basophilic nomoblast, nuclei present but not obviously visible. And from the stage of polychromatophilic nomoblast, there is no nuclei are visible and nucleus is more condensed. In the cytoplasm, in the pronomoblast, moderate amount of cytoplasm is present and no granules are present. In basophilic nomoblast, because of polyribosome, there is a slight basophilia of cytoplasm is present. And polychromatophilic nomoblast, because of hemoglobin production and RNA, there is slightly polychromatic cytoplasm. And in orthochromatic nomoblast, cytoplasm is well hemoglobinized, similar to normal RBC. In reticulocyte and erythrocyte, there is no nucleus is present, and in RNA only slight amount of RNA is present in cytoplasm, and in mature RBC no cell organelle or nucleus is present. Duration of erythropoiesis, from the stage of pronomoblast to reticulocyte, it takes 3 to 8 days for development, and reticulocyte mature in 2 to 3 days in bone marrow and released in circulation for converted into mature RBC. This diagram of proerythroblast, there is slight basophilia and there are two nuclei are seen. In basophilic nomoblast, there is more basophilic cytoplasm, and in polychromatophilic nomoblast, there is slightly hemoglobinization of cytoplasm. In orthochromatic nomoblast, cytoplasm of orthochromatic nomoblast is almost similar to mature RBC. It is reticulocyte containing small amount of RNA and it is mature RBC. Coming to myelopoiesis, from pluripotent hematopoietic stem cells, common myeloid progenitor cell is formed. From this myeloid progenitor cell, CFU-GM and from CFU-GM, CFU-G, and through the various stages of myeloblast, promyelocyte, neutrophilic myelocyte, neutrophilic metamyelocyte, neutrophilic band, and ultimately mature neutrophil is formed. Coming to tabulated form of various blast morphology, in myeloblast, from myeloblast to mature neutrophil, size of cell is continuously decreased, and in myeloblast there is a coarsely clumped chromatin, and in myelocyte chromatin is slightly condensed. Nuclei are seen in mainly 2 to 5 nuclei are seen in myeloblast, and there is in stage of promyelocyte less obvious nuclei are seen, and from the stage of myelocyte no nuclei are present in the nucleus. In cytoplasm, there is no granules are present in the myeloblastic stage. From the promyelocyte, there is appearance of granules from primary to secondary and third tertiary granules are seen. And in metamyelocyte stage, there is indentation of nucleus, and in band forms, a deeply indented nucleus is formed, and mature neutrophils 2 to 5 lobe nuclei are seen. So this is a picture of a myeloblast containing three nuclei, and these are erythroblast. It is picture of promyelocyte containing primary eosinophilic granules, and no obvious nuclei are seen. It is myelocyte having flattened nucleus and containing primary and secondary granules, and these two are metamyelocytes. Coming to eosinophil, there is separate eosinophilic committed progenitor cells in the marrow, CFU-EO, and from the in the influence of growth factor, various growth factors which are produced by T lymphocytes, eosinophilic development is eosinophil development occurs. From the CFU-EO, myeloblast is seen. From myeloblast, eosinophilic myelocyte, eosinophilic metamyelocyte, eosinophilic band, and mature eosinophil is seen. So it is a picture of mature neutrophils containing dirty orangish color granules and kidney-shaped eye optical nucleus is seen. Coming to basophil, there is separate basophilic committed progenitor cells CFU baso in the marrow, and first recognizable stage is basophilic myelocyte containing dark, large purple color granules in the myelocytic stage. So CFU basophil myeloblast myelocyte and ultimately mature basophil is produced. Coming to monocytopoiesis, from common myeloid progenitor cell, CFU-GM is formed. From CFU-GM, CFU-M and myeloblast is produced. Monocyte shares same committed cells as neutrophil CFU-GM, and earliest recognizable cell in this series is promonocyte. Lifespan of monocyte in circulation is about 12 hours, and it is converted and migrated to tissue to macrophages. Megakaryopoiesis means platelet formation. CFU megakaryocyte erythrocyte, which is converted to CFU megakaryocyte, and the stages of megakaryoblast, promegakaryocyte, granular megakaryocyte, mature megakaryocyte, normal platelet is formed in the marrow. Platelet originate from polypoid megakaryocyte, largest of all hematopoietic cells, and earliest recognizable precursor of this series is megakaryoblast, which is the largest cell. Lymphopoiesis occurs from common lymphoid progenitor cells, and from common lymphoid progenitor cells, T cell, B cell, and mature NK cell is formed. B cell development occurs first in liver during 8th or 9th week of gestation, and later in bone marrow after hematopoietic stem cell have developed in the marrow. T cell development occurs necessarily in the thymus. NK cell and T cell have a common precursor cell. Bone marrow is main site for NK cell differentiation. So coming to this was about the normal hematopoiesis. Now coming to anemia. So what is anemia? So anemia is defined as a reduction of total circulating red cell mass or reduction of hemoglobin concentration in blood below the normal limits for respective age and sex. So before going through anemia, we should know about adult reference ranges for red cell parameters like hemoglobin, hematocrit, red cell indices. So hemoglobin should be in man 13 to 17 gram per deciliter, in women 12 to 15 gram per deciliter. Hematocrit means HCT. This should be 39 to 49% in men and 33 to 43% in females. Red cell count should be 4.5 to 5.5 million in men and 3.5 to 4.5 million in women. MCV. So what is MCV? MCV is volume of one RBC. It should be 82 to 96 femtoliter. MCH, content of hemoglobin in only one RBC. Normal range is 27 to 33 picogram. And what is MCHC? Mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. This is a concentration of hemoglobin of one RBC. It should be 33 to 37 gram per deciliter, and reticulocyte should be in the range of 0.5 to 1.5%. So coming to etiological classification of anemia. So first cause is blood loss. It may be of acute and chronic. Second is increased RBC destruction or hemolysis, and third one is decreased RBC production in the marrow. Those second cause is RBC destruction or hemolysis. So first cause is inherited genetic defect included are red cell membrane disorders included hereditary spherocytosis and hereditary leptocytosis. Second is enzyme deficiency like G6PD deficiency and pyruvate kinase deficiency. Third is hemoglobin abnormalities like thalassemia and sickle cell anemia. Second is acquired genetic defect like in paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria and PNH. Third is antibody-mediated destruction of RBC in hemolytic disease of newborn, blood transfusion reactions, drug-induced reactions, and autoimmune disorders. Next is mechanical trauma of RBC in microangiopathic hemolytic anemia, in HUS, hemolytic uremic syndrome, DIC, disseminated intravascular coagulation, and in TTP, thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura. In defective cardiac valve, there may be cardiac traumatic hemolysis. Other causes of destruction of RBC are infection of RBC like in anemia, toxic or chemical injury like in lead poisoning, membrane lipid abnormalities in A beta lipoproteinemia, and sequestration of RBC in hypersplenism or splenomegaly. Causes of decreased RBC production in bone marrow. First cause is inherited genetic defect. It may be due to in Fanconi anemia due to defect leading to stem cell depletion. Second is defect affecting erythroblast maturation in thalassemia syndrome. Second is erythropoietin deficiency. So erythropoietin is mainly generated from the kidney. So in the renal failure patients, there is erythropoietin deficiency occur, and in anemia of chronic disease, there is also erythropoietin deficiency. Third is nutritional deficiency in vitamin B12 and folate deficiency because of DNA synthesis is deficient. And in iron deficiency anemia, there is a deficiency of hemoglobin synthesis, which is the most common cause of anemia in India. Fourth cause is immune-mediated injury of progenitor cells in aplastic anemia and pure red cell aplasia. Other causes of decreased RBC production are primary hematopoietic neoplasm, including leukemias, myelodysplasia, myelodysplastic syndrome, space-occupying lesion in carcinoma and granulomas, and infections of red cell progenitor cells in the marrow. In this, most common infection is parvovirus B19 infection. In the space-occupying lesion and primary hematopoietic neoplasm, abnormal cells of leukemia and carcinoma and granuloma are formed, and so because of the abnormal cells, normal hematopoietic precursors are reduced in number, so there is anemia. This was the etiological classification of anemia. Now coming to morphological classification of anemia, it depends on value of MCV. When there is a normal MCV 80 to 100 femtoliter, the anemia are of normocytic normochromic type, which includes anemia of chronic disease. When MCV is less than 80, the anemia is called as microcytic hypochromic anemia. Causes are iron deficiency anemia, thalassemia, sideroblastic anemia. And when MCV is more than 100 femtoliter, anemia is of macrocytic, means increased RBC size. Causes are vitamin B12 deficiency and folic acid deficiency. This is picture of iron deficiency anemia. In this, microcytic hypochromic cells are seen, means cells are reduced in size as compared to normal small lymphocyte, and there is central one-third pallor is increased to more than one third of pallor, and mainly ring cells are found. Picture of macrocytic anemia, and in this when compared to normal small lymphocyte, RBC size is increased. This is picture of sickle cell anemia containing sickle shaped RBCs. Risk factor for anemia. There are three risk factors for anemia. Demographic factors containing elderly patients, teenager patients, females, aborigine immigrants, widower patients. Second is dietary factors included for anemia. For low iron content, heme iron, low heme iron content, low vitamin C, excess phytates in food, excess tea or coffee, fat habits, and third is social physical factors, poverty, poor dentition, alcohol abuse, and others. So coming to common clinical features which patient complaints of are neuromuscular features includes headache, vertigo, tinnitus, faintness, drowsiness, restlessness, muscular weakness, lack of mental concentration and paresthesia and pernicious anemia. In CVS and pulmonary features, patient complain often of dyspnea, tachycardia, palpitation, dizziness, shortness of breath, and extreme fatigue. In skin and mucosal changes, there is thinning and early graying of hair, brittle nail, and concave nail in cholinergia and platinacea and iron deficiency anemia, and in pernicious anemia, glossitis is present. Most common feature of anemia is pallor in mouth, pharynx, conjunctiva, lips, and nail beds. In ophthalmic findings, there are flame-shaped hemorrhage, hard exudate, cotton wool spots, tortuousness of retinal veins. And GIT changes, there may be glossitis and atrophy of papillae of tongue in pernicious anemia because of vitamin B12 deficiency. In aplastic anemia, there may be painful ulcer in mouth and pharynx, and chronic iron deficiency anemia may be patient complaints of dysphagia. Coming to evaluation of anemic patient, we should take history of onset of anemia, fever, history of dietary intake, any drug and chemical history, hematuria means blood in urine, hematemesis, TB, history of TB, Stary stool, number of pregnancies, history of menstruation, and pain in lax family history. And second is clinical examination of patient. We should examine about pallor, koilonychia means spooning of nails in iron deficiency anemia, and in jaundice, signs of infection, bleeding, neutropenia, thrombocytopenia, lymphadenopathy, lymph node enlargement, splenohepatomegaly, assessment of kidney failure, chronic renal failure, cardiac and chest examination. And we should finally go for investigations. Investigation for evaluation of anemia. First is hematological investigation. It includes complete blood count containing hemoglobin, hematocrit, RBC count, all red cell indices containing MCV, MCH, MCHC, RDW, reticulocyte count, differential leukocyte count, platelet count, ESR, RBC morphology, serum iron studies containing iron, ferritin, transferrin saturation, TIBC total iron binding capacity to differentiate the various type of anemia, and ultimately bone marrow examination, iron store in the bone marrow, urine examination, color, pH, specific gravity of urine, protein, sugar, ketone present in the urine, bilirubin, urobilinogen for hematuria and hemolysis, hemoglobin in urine, and microscopic examination for RBC. In stool, examination of one cyst should be done and local blood to rule out any parasitic infestation in the intestine. Other investigations are blood urea, serum creatinine, serum bilirubin, SGOT, PT, alkaline phosphatase for liver dysfunction, and X-ray chest. For evaluation and proper typing of anemia, we should do complete blood count, and then we should go for reticulocyte count. When reticulocyte count is increased, so we should go for features of hemolysis, that is increased bilirubin, increased LDH, decreased haptoglobin, and hemocydin in urine. When these all parameters are abnormal, then we should evaluate for the hemolytic anemia. When there are no features of hemolysis, we should evaluate it for other causes of hemorrhagic anemia, other hemorrhagic causes of anemia. And when reticulocyte is normal, then we should go for MCV. We should done MCV, and there may be causes. There may be microcytic, normocytic, and macrocytic anemia. Coming to treatment of anemia. So in iron deficiency anemia, we should give supplementation of iron orally or parenterally. In macrocytic anemia, we should given oral and parenteral vitamin B12 therapy and folic acid tablets. Anemia of chronic disease, we should treat it for underlying chronic disorders like chronic infections and inflammations. In thalassemia, we should go for multiple blood transfusion, iron chelation therapy, and ultimately splenectomy and bone marrow transplantation. In sickle cell anemia, folic acid supplementation in diet is given, and the patient should be aware for precipitating factor for crisis like fever, infection, and dehydration. And in hereditary spherocytosis, we should we should give patient folic acid and ultimately splenectomy. Thank you.